you've really made waves in the Chicago music scene lately, just like from your solo music and collaborations and features. Was being a singer something that you always wanted to do? Like, was it a long-term dream of yours?
No, you know what? Like, the funniest thing is, like, music itself has always been, like, super, like, supplementary in my life. Basically, whatever my mom played in the house and whatever, you know, when you're at a certain point as a kid, you don't touch the radio, and then at a certain point you're like, hey, I can change it, and then you change it to only the stations that she's comfortable with. And so music was just like a fun thing to do with like my friends or listen to whatever we were listening to. But I grew up playing tennis, so like my sole focus was that.
I saw that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because I played tennis as well, and tennis was like weirdly very serious.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you had a similar experience.
Yeah. So like I started playing tennis when I was 5. I started traveling the state when I was 8, the country by 10, and then the world by 12. And at a certain point, I was doing traditional high school, and I was missing so much high school that I had to go to tennis academy just based off not getting held back. And
what
so,
is tennis academy?
Tennis academy is what it sounds like. So it's like you pretty much go there, you dorm there. So it's pretty much getting a college experience, but the sole focus for everyone there is tennis. Once I stopped playing tennis, it was a good decision, and then depression kicks in and the sadness and the loss of identity and trying to figure out what your purpose is. And then once I like suffered enough, I started listening to this artist named Swookie Black, and he goes by Corbin, his real name. And I watched this music video, Without You, and I never knew what he looked like. And I was like, oh, well, this is interesting. I like this. And I started experimenting with music, stealing all of his producers' stuff. So I sent him like a DM and I was like, hey, is it cool that I jacked your beat? Hope you like this song. And he enjoyed it. He shared it with his friends, and by extension, his friends with Spooky. And it just became a friend just through that transition of being a fan. And he performed at Reggie's with his group, The Standard, at the time. And after the show, I just messaged him and was just like, amazing show. And he was like, you want to come backstage? And invited me to his closeout show the next day. And it's just like a chain of events. And so like with me, with him, it's kind of cool to meet the person that inspired you to start.
For sure.
And enjoy their company enough, and vice versa. I will always be grateful for like what Corbin did musically, because that got me into
Right,
making.
because this is when you were just starting out.
Correct,
right?
yeah.
When you chose to hide your identity, like, I guess like my question is why?
Why?
Yeah.
Multiple reasons. So as you guys know, like there was that depressive state in post-tennis, and tennis, while it was mine, it did feel like it was everybody else's in my family, everybody that knew me. It felt like they were a part of this, but not really. Like, you're not on the court with me, you're not at a lot of these tournaments, you're not spending the amount of time that I was spending on it. So when I chose to make music and try and pick myself up, I wanted it to be on my terms, and the best thing I could do was keep it to myself. And it's like a journal. Like, you don't really tell people that you're writing in your journal when you're in your room. You're just in your room. Going in, I wanted to keep it to myself, so it was not letting anybody know until I knew what I was doing.
Like what you were confident with.
And then 2, it was me knowing that this was the starting point, and knowing that I'm going to grow from this sound. I just need this initially. So it was knowing that it's hard for people to allow you to change when they have a certain perspective of what you look like. And so that possession that we have as like fans, I realized that because I'm such a fan. So I was like, why don't I hide my face from that? 3, it was because I didn't tell any of my friends or family. In case you ever discover it online, you don't see my face attached to it, it's just the music itself. So it was that, and the biggest thing for me was the name Appleby, which is my family's name.
I was gonna ask about that.
Because I didn't tell them I was making music, I wanted a way to involve them. So even though I'm keeping one of the biggest parts of my life a secret from them, I still had them with me. And my favorite thing about it all was I wanted a name that in 15, 20 years, I didn't want to change. And I wanted something that could keep me grounded as a human being, no matter how big I got.
So kind of like hold yourself to a standard by choosing that name.
So 15 years from now, I want to make sure that that's in the back of my head, so I'm not being an asshole.
Keeping you accountable.
Exactly.
Now would you say you're comfortable with having your face.
Oh
attached
yeah,
to your music.
absolutely. Especially with the music that I'm making now, which is the moment I was ready to step out was because I created something that was specifically for me, and not in the image of the people I was listening to, or not stepping in the creative process, being like, how can I achieve popularity, or this is gonna work, or whatever. And once I made that, I felt comfortable being like, well, this is a great starting point. And now it's like the first step forward of, hi, I'm Appleby. This is the music I like. This is where I'm at. And turns out people liked it enough for me to be like, oh, okay, I can trust my taste still and my personal interest in stuff.
Once you told like all your families and friends, like, hey, like I have a music career, like I've been hiding it from
By
you.
the way,
Like
here's
I've
a
got
write-up
this
from like an
following.
author.
This. How did they respond to that?
The funniest thing is they only kind of found out within the recent project itself of Happiness. So like the moment I dropped the project, we went to celebrate and ate at my favorite breakfast restaurant, Batter and Berries.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that place is amazing. It's one of my favorites. And she was like, I had to show her how to download it or buy it off, or I was trying to show her how to listen to it on Spotify. And she was like, well, I want to buy it though. And so like I had to show her like how to buy it on Apple Music or through iTunes, whatever. And she bought it, and then she like sent a massive email to my entire family, and being like, "This is the link.
That's such a mom
This is
thing
how
to
you
do.
know that." And I was just like, "This is amazing." And,
So we stalked your social media.
okay, fantastic.
Okay, a lot.
Okay.
And we noticed that you talk about your anxiety, and do you think it's important for artists to be vocal about anxiety?
Yeah, people want to know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And I think that if I can bring out the fact that I'm experiencing these emotions and let people know that I'm not having the best day, it can soothe somebody else to be like, okay, it's okay that I'm not having a great day, based off anxiety, based off of desire to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, and maybe not being there, or maybe seeing somebody's post that made you jealous or self-conscious or whatever. And so I want to be careful not to put myself in this perfect spotlight and make me seem like I'm not a flawed human being that's not experiencing
it makes
the
you
same
personable.
emotions. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been something that's great for me.
Yeah.
And then it's also just kind of therapeutic to just let somebody else know that I'm...
Because like chances are like your followers are going through the same thing that they have before.
Oh yeah.
Shower songs. Shower songs.
Ooh, okay.
Mount Rushmore shower songs.
Okay. You know what actually became my number one? Redbone from Childish Gambino.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good.
And it became my number one after watching Get Out.
Okay.
And Get Out, it's within the opening sequence.
Yeah, that was
and
such a good
Daniel
opening
Kaluuya gets out of the shower and he's got like his towel on and he's like looking in the mirror and Redbone is playing, and I was like, that's gotta be me. From now on, that's gotta be me. So like, Redbone is one. Frank Ocean's Chanel is two. Coldplay's Magic is three.
Yeah.
And four is Hometown Glory by Adele. Those are probably the ones that like I can think about specifically doing multiple times a week or multiple times a month. So those four. Usher, Usher. That's a given. Is Michael Jackson considered R&B slash soul, or is he just so much pop?
I feel like he's just his own genre.
He's in his own. He's in his own.
Yeah.
He's so pop.
He might count.
I feel like he's in that because he made that music pop.
Yeah.
That's
very true.
Pop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop at those two. Sade and Usher are like my
Those are yours.
Yeah.
Top tiers.
Yeah. I love, and Usher's like Confession album. Like,
there
will never be an R&B album like that in my life again.
Yeah.
So,
My dad used to play that on repeat.
Yeah.
So like I know like all of the words.
Oh yeah. I would also include, for me, Neo is up there for me.
Yeah.
Like his whole So Sick, Sexy Love, Closer, and all of those things. I used to have those on endless replay. So yeah, those three.
Okay.
Those three.
Childhood crushes.
Ooh, I like this. So Alyssa
so-
Milano, Chrissy Carlson Romano from Even Stevens.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
She was definitely
She's
a crush.
Kim Possible.
Yes,
Who I was
the
talking
voice.
about the other day.
Yeah.
It's the same girl.
Yes, yes. She's in there. Who else was in my? I think I've loved Halle Berry my entire life.
Yeah.
So she's in there. And then fourth, who was? Let's see. I'm trying to think of like the sitcoms that I was watching that like I was just, I loved Peyton from Haley Burton. Haley Burton from One Tree Hill. So she's Chad Michael Murray's.
Peyton with the blonde curly hair.
Yeah. So she's like Chad
Hillary
Michael.
Burton.
Haley Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are probably like.
She was pretty badass, but like I didn't believe her character. Like, how can you be a cheerleader and into punk music?
Yeah. Like wanting
wasn't
to wear the
one-dimensional,
leather.
so you
Yeah,
didn't
no.
like it?
Well,
Yeah.
it just wasn't believable to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was like satisfying all the pockets. Like it was like.
But she was like super angsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was my favorite also. of
Yeah.
course.
So I think those four, and then like I can remember like really loving Hilary Duff
Oh yeah.
because Lizzie McGuire
Yeah.
was just amazing.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan when what's it called came out when
The
Parent Trap, and for the longest I thought she had a twin. So every moment
I
I
think
saw
a
her.
lot of people thought that.
Yeah, like every moment I saw her, I was like, "But where's her sister? Like, is her sister
Yeah.
working?"
The Lohan twins.
And then that was the idea of movie magic to me for the first time.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, so she had to like shoot it this way and then shoot it this way,
Yeah.
and then they just. I was.
I know. I
mind blown.
recently watched that movie and I was thinking about that, and also like how good her British accent was, and how bad Vanessa Hudgens' British accent was. in Christmas movie.
Also, Lindsay Lohan's getting a reality